Hi class. So we're starting on step-by-step 6.1, and the first thing we're going to learn how to do is to sort an employee list of salaries. We have several employees, approximately 25, and we want to sort the salary so that we have the lower salaried employees at the top and the higher salaried employees at the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we are in the column that we want to actually sort. So click on D4, and then let's go to Data and choose the A to Z, smallest to largest. And all of the data will sort with the lowest number at the top and the highest number at the bottom. So let's say now that we want to sort by last name and then by first name instead of by salary. So that to choose two different levels of sorting, we're going to click on the sort button itself. We are going to look under column, sort by, and we are going to choose last name first. It'll sort by the values and the order we want it to say A to Z. Then we're going to add a level and sort by first name. Same thing, values and A to Z, and say OK. So now you can see that we no longer have salaries listed from low to high, but we have them in alphabetical order, and employees with the same last name then are sorted within itself alphabetically by first name. So we have C for Charles, G for Gary, R for Robert. Those are in alphabetical order within the Brown category. Okay, so that's how we actually sort. Go ahead and hit save at this point. Okay, so next we're going to apply conditional formatting. This is where we want cells to be highlighted that show, for instance, the top 5 wage earners and the bottom 5 wage earners. We want the computer to automatically highlight those for us so that we can see them quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is select the range that we want the data to be considered, which would be D4 through D29. Then we're going to click on our Home tab at the top, and we are going to choose Conditional Formatting. And from there we're going to choose Top and Bottom Rules. And then we are going to choose Top 10 Items. Now let's change the 10 to 5 because we only have 26 employees total. So let's pick the top 5 wage earners. And you'll notice when you change the 10 to a 5 that some of the highlights actually go away, and there are only 5. And say OK. Okay, now we're going to look at the bottom 5 employees. So let's click Conditional Formatting again, Top Bottom Rules, Bottom 10 Items, and then let's change this to a 5. And let's also change the highlight filter to a yellow fill with dark yellow text so we can see a difference between the two, and say OK. Click anywhere in column E to deselect our column D, and you will see now that the top wage earners are highlighted in this pink color and the lower wage earners are highlighted in the yellow. Okay, let's hit save. Okay, so the next step-by-step is 6.4, and what we're going to do here is learn how to hide and unhide rows and columns. This is helpful because sometimes you may not want to see a whole lot of data. So the first thing let's do is highlight B through G by actually clicking on the letter B at the top and highlighting all the way across so it selects the entire column of B through G. Right-click on it and then click the word hide. And at this point you will see then that our columns jump from A to H, and we have everything in between hidden. We can actually print from here, so let's say File, Print. I don't want you to actually hit print, but I just want you to see that you can print a document with hidden rows, and they are actually hidden when you print them. Okay, let's go back to Home, and let's highlight A and H together. So we have now technically highlighted B through I guess B through G. And let's right click and choose Unhide. And voila, they're back. Okay, let's do the same thing for rows 6 through 14. Highlight rows 6 through 14 by hovering over the 6 and scrolling down to the 14, right click, hide, and we again see that we only have the totals at the bottom and the months at the top. We know that there are hidden rows in here and that they're not deleted because we go from 5 to 15 and we don't see anything in between. So let's unhide those now by clicking on 5, scrolling down to 15, right click and unhide. Okay. Step by step 6.5 wants us to insert a shape into our data sheet here. So we're going to first click on Insert, and then we are going to click on Shapes. Then we're going to choose a call out that has a block and it has an arrow. It's under Block Arrows. It'll be the last icon on the right of the second row. Let's click on that, and now we have a plus sign for our pointer. This is where we're going to actually click on B17 through E20. So B17 is here. We're going to go over to E and then down to 20. So don't be too exact on it because we're going to actually reshape it. But we basically have a call out now that can be resized. It's just like a picture really, because we can change its size and we can change its direction. So let's type in bad weather caused February's low field production. So we're making an explanation as to why February's number was lower than the rest. And February is represented under C15. Our arrow is not pointing to the correct space. So let's get our double arrow by hovering over the marching ants, and let's drag it over and drop it so that the arrow is technically pointing directly at cell B15. And then let's grab the bottom right hand corner and let's drag it and reshape it a little bit. Okay, now we've noticed that our arrow is no longer pointing at B15, so we need to drag it over and put it back where it belongs. Okay, next thing we're going to do is let's go up here to Shape Fill, click the arrow to the right, and let's choose orange for our fill. Now let's go to Shape Outline, and let's choose red. And then let's go to Shape Effects, and let's choose Shadow, and no, let's choose Glow, excuse me, and let's go down to the second column, third row, and choose Red 11, Point Glow Accent Color 2. Okay, so now we've actually added some dimension to this particular note. We can also, if we need to, we can center it by going to highlighting the words, going to Home, hitting Center. And we'll notice that when we click outside the box to deselect it, we've lost part of our wordage. The box is too small. So all we have to do is click once on the box itself and then grab the bottom square and drag it down. And we have now included all of the information in that square. Okay, let's hit save. Okay, next thing we're going to do is step by step 6.6. We're going to modify a smart art graphic. To do that, we're going to actually click on our insert button. We are going to choose Smart Art, and we are going to go to Pyramids, and then let's choose Inverted Pyramid, upside down. Say OK. And in text number 1, okay, so in text number 1, let's type in jalapeno number 2. In text number 2, jalapeno number 1. And text number 3, poblano number 3, or poblano number 3. And then let's grab this actual piece of art and let's drop it so that the top left corner is at I3. And yours is probably going to be a little bit different than mine. So go ahead and grab this bottom right hand corner, and now let's make sure that it ends at row 15 and the edge on the right is at column L. Okay, so you should have something that looks similar to this. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the colors. So on the Smart Art tools at the top, make sure you have Design selected. Click your down arrow to the right of Change Colors, and let's choose Colorful Accent Colors, the very first one under the Colorful category. And you'll see that it now changes to a red, green, and purple. And let's go over here and choose More Options to the right of the Smart Styles. And let's pick this one in the middle that looks like a 3D piece of art. Okay, let's hit save. Okay, next let's choose the beautiful document and open that up. Save it as beautiful blooms followed by your initial. Then click the insert tab. We're going to actually insert a picture at this point. So let's go insert and picture, and we will now look for the tulips JPEG, which is going to be in the share drive, templates, business, BIM, Excel, lesson 6, tulips. Okay, so here it is. It's dropped down there in the bottom right hand side for me. Okay, let's choose under the format category to remove the background. We'll see that everything is turned purple and the inner square does not cover all of the tulip anymore. So let's increase the inside square so that it does cover all of the tulip. And then let's choose keep changes. And we will see that the background has now been deleted and we only have the tulip. Okay, the next we're going to choose the more option on the far right hand side of the picture styles. And as you'll see here, as you hover over each one of these different styles, you'll see a live view of your picture changing. Pick one that you like. Okay, and just pick one that you like. I'm going to choose this clipped one right here, which is actually what our book has asked us to choose. Okay, so now we're going to use our move tool, hover in the middle of your picture so that you have the 4 arrows, and drag it over to the very top left corner of A1. As you can tell, I haven't dropped it yet, so I can move it all around, and I'll stop way up in A1. I didn't like it because it was too big. So then we can resize it to where it actually fits in between A1 and A7. And then drag it so it kind of centers in column A, resize it so that it fits nicely in between those two banners. Okay, and then click somewhere else and see if your picture actually landed where you wanted. I think mine is a little bit too high at the top, so I'm going to click on it once, and I'm going to use my down arrow on my keyboard because I get a little more precise positioning with the down arrow. I can also use my right arrow and my left arrow and position it a little more technically. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save. And then I want you to open up your Word program itself, and then go ahead and open up the logo option under Business Templates, BIM, Excel, and Excel Lesson 6. Okay, go back to your Excel document and go to Insert and Screenshot. And we'll see that the Word document pops up as an available window to be pulled from. So we're going to choose Screen Clipping, and then our Word document now becomes active and we get a plus arrow. So let's crop out this particular logo, and whenever we let go of it, it automatically drops it into our Excel document. Now let's resize this and let's place it right next to our flower. We can size it to whatever feels most comfortable to you, and remember that if you cropped it a little too big, then you're going to have to make adjustments for that, because in my case I have a white border around mine and I can't cover up the header as well. So there we go. Okay, let's hit save.